Hello, happy Friday, and welcome back to another Arkham Horror live stream. We are going through the Miskatonic Museum tonight. So, how you doing, Josh? Tell me to watch out for snakes. I am going through this blind, so I don't quite know what that means, and maybe I hope that I don't figure that out. The Diamond Edge, how you doing? Glad to see you. Happy to have you here. I am excited for this one. I think I always say that because I'm always excited to play living card games, but this one's kind of fun. Like I feel like I'm starting to get the feeling of the Ashcan Pete / Duke deck, and I'm thinking that this one is going to be pretty sweet. Just one, the cover looked amazing. It was like this giant like snake kind of thing coming out of the museum, and so I'm excited. I'm excited for that. So, okay. The chat looks kind of weird. That's why. I know why. So, I'll just fix that real quick. So, I do have a different setup. So, I got the bigger mat. It's from Momo Monster. So, highly recommend their mats. It's just a little bit bigger because I was always running out of space, and hopefully that this kind of fixes that. So let me just drop that there. Oh, that looks a lot better. I'm going to transition. We're going to fix that. Awesome. Okay, so we've got the Miskatonic Museum. We've got some. I just kind of like looked at this, and it's there's some pretty big negatives here, and so I want to make sure that if I need to succeed, I'm at least doing 2 over, possibly 3. So let's get it started. So it's simply an obscure mystery science theater 3000 reference, and has absolutely nothing to do with anything else ever at all. Okay, well that's good. That's good to know because you were starting to worry me. So awesome. Well, great. Okay, so let's read where we're at. So scenario 2, the Miskatonic Museum. Several months ago, Armitage and his colleagues stopped a rampaging horror from tearing through Dunwich, a backwater town several hours north and west of Arkham. At first, you imagine this beast as a rabid bear or worse, but the professor's description of the creature paints a different picture. Hey, Starry, let's go. Diamond says lunch time in the Dunwich Legacy. Yes, absolutely. It all began when a named man, Wilbur Wheatley, entered the Oran Library looking for Olaus Warmus Latin's translations of a book called the Necromicon. I like have read that so many times, but never out loud, and I realized that I don't quite know how to pronounce it, so that's kind of funny. So Wilbur already possessed a beaten up English translations by Dr. John Dee, but is insufficient for his purposes. Armitage turned the man away, fearing what use the strange man had for the book. Whatley returned in secret, hoping to steal the book, but was attacked by a hound guarding the university. Armitage, Rice, and Morgan later discovered that Whatley's body, a description of the foul corpse, a semi-anthropomorphic and covered in fur with a leathery hide and greenish gray testicles, causes you to question whether or not Whatley was a true human. Yes, I do. I need to start with that before reading anything else. Necronomicon. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Josh. Okay, so if investigators rescued Dr. Henry Armitage, which we did, so part 2, my colleagues and I were quick to put the ordeal behind us, Armitage says with a sigh, but it seems like things haven't fully resolved themselves. I'll tell you the rest later, but for now it is imperative that we get our hands on that copy of the, rated out phonetically, Necronomicon. Yeah, okay. If my instincts are correct, the assailants you've encountered will be searching for it. After all that transpired, I didn't feel safe keeping it in the library, so I brought it to my good friend, Harold Walstead. He is the current curator of the Miskatonic Museum. I thought it would be safe in the museum's restricted hall, but now I'm not so sure. You must retrieve it at all costs. I fear terribly what they would do with the rights contained in its pages. Alrighty. Crazy. Or Namicon. I think that works too. Necronomicon. Necronomicon. Okay, Necronomicon. It's like a Comic-Con, but like Necronomicon. Okay, Necronomicon. I'll say it 12 different ways tonight on the stream, so we'll get there eventually. But alrighty, so setup. We gathered all the cards. We put one of the 2 administrative offices into play, as well as one of the security offices into play at random. Remove the others from the game, and then put the museum entrance and the museum halls into play. And each investigator starts at the museum entrance, which is where we're at here. We've set the exhibit hall deck aside, and we take the restricted hall as well as 2 other random exhibit halls. The book of full of bad stuff. Please don't read. Yes. the book of bad stuff. Please don't read. We're going to take 2 others. We're going to shuffle them together. I'm going to mix it all up. Then shuffle the other 3, placing these on top. So we need to wander the museum, and we're going to set those aside. Those will come into play later. Set the following cards aside, which we did, and shuffle the remainder of the encounter deck to build encounter cards to build the encounter deck. So the super bad book of bad stuff, please don't read, is our main mission. So let's see if we can get there. Okay, so I don't actually think I did shuffle these, so I'm gonna shuffle them on screen real quick. So we're playing with Ashcan Pete. We've got Duke, and we've got the upgrade Scrapper out onto play. It's a permanent upgrade or an asset in Arkham. So I can spend a resource to get a +1 fight, or spend a resource to get +1 agility for a skill test. And the last upgrade that we did is we bought the upgraded version of one of the Peters. There's like 12 Peters, and we bought we bought 2 upgrades for the Peters, and subbed those out of our deck. So we have a little bit of a buffer on sanity. I did take a physical trauma last game, and so I am starting at a 5/5, which is a little scary, but we do have Duke, which gives us a little bit of a buffer. However, I don't really want to use him too much, because if he leaves play, then we're in trouble. So we don't want that to happen. Alrighty, so any advice for me before I embark onto the scenario? I think, I've heard don't look at snakes. I've heard that there are some things that may discard Duke from play, but anything that I need to specifically be on the lookout, or just kind of fumble my way through and see what happens? Because I'm kind of good with either. Look at our starting hand. We've got 5. Is the background music too loud? I can fix that. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay, so we started out, we have a fire axe. I love seeing that. The fire axe is kind of almost what this deck is built around, as long as we can get a dark horse. I like Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf is pretty good. Okay, good. I'm glad that that's a little bit better. Yeah, if it's ever messed up, because I'm still trying to figure out, it's a new audio system, so I'm trying to figure out exactly where it should land. And so if it's ever too loud, let me know. All told, not an awful starting hand. No need to mulligan, in your opinion. Oh wow, you've already seen it. Awesome. Well, so we got Fire Axe, Lone Wolf, a leather coat. That's going to be nice because that's a little bit of a buffer. We got a Lucky, which is always fun, and then an Overpower. And right, so the museum halls, just reading the unset up side, or the unrevealed side, says that it's locked, and in order to get in, I have to break it in, and so that's going to require a lot of physical strength. And so I think Overpower is the same, and I kind of like it, the Diamond's Edge. I'm kind of with you. I think that this is a pretty good starting hand. It's kind of fun. One thing that I did get a note on my on one of my YouTube comments was that if I investigate with Duke and move, even if there's not a chance for me to get a clue, I still need to carry out that investigate action. And I think that's really critical here, because if I draw, I don't even know what these bad ones are called, but if I draw this one, if I fail, I have to discard an asset I control. And so there could still be a negative effect if I don't complete it. And so just kind of thinking about it. The Diamond Edge is living in the future. It's true, he is. Alrighty, let's see what our agenda and what our acts are. So, agenda. So, restricted access. Dr. Armitage has given the university's Latin translation of the bad book, who you should definitely not read, to his associate Harold Walstead, the curator of the Miskatonic University. Worried that someone might still be after the book, you have gone to the museum to recover it. So, forced. When Hunting Horror enters play, that doesn't sound good. Attach the set-aside copy of the Shadow Spawn to it, or add one resource to the Shadow Spawn if it is already attached. Alrighty, I don't like any of those words. And then Act 1. And this progresses after a 5 Doom. Hunting Horror. It's a hunter that hurts. It's a horror that hunts. Yeah. Now we're doing H letters this time, not C's. But okay, so that's a 5 Doom threshold. And then finding a way inside. Unfortunately, the entrance to the museum is kept locked at this late hour, which I mean is super reasonable, right? Like it's super late. I wouldn't leave the doors to the museum just straight up open. So I have no qualms with that whatsoever. A security guard is visible through the building's front windows, oblivious to his surroundings. Perhaps you can find a way to get his attention and convince him to let you in. Hey, sultry harlot, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, so this is kind of fun. There's a security guard in there, and it sounds like if I get enough clues, then maybe I can just, get him and have him open the door. I don't know if he's gonna let me in though. Like, why would he let me in? Hello, how you doing? So the museum entrance. So this is a shroud of 3, and we've got investigators at the museum entrance cannot gain resources. Oh, that's not great. And resign. How important can a book really be anyways? I'm actually not super opposed to that logic. I mean, it's just a book, right? Okay, so we're starting in here. Did I just start? I just started this scenario. We're doing all the setup. This is the 3rd scenario in the campaign, so I'm not quite sure what you're asking, but yes, I just started this scenario, doing all the setup, just reading all the introductions, and we are about to take the absolute first turn. You caught it at the right time. You absolutely did. So let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so we've got 3 actions. We've got 2 things there. I'm feeling like Ashcan Pete is probably gonna want to break into this place instead of trying to find the get the security guard. I don't know. Okay, so should we break in, or should we try and get the security guard's attention? Because like I'm a little afraid that if we try and knock on the security guard, he's gonna be like, what the heck, man? Like, what are you doing? Base strength is 2, and I don't know if I can use Duke to help me. I don't think I can because it's a fight action. Never realized how hard the scaling is for museums since it's a static 2 clues. Yes, scaling for solo play. Yeah. And the more I play Arkham, the more I'm kind of convinced that you really do want to play it either multiplayer or with like a dual hand. And so I think probably next time I would go 2-handed just to kind of see what opportunities that unlocks for me. But we're here. Or just break in. What could go wrong? Nothing could go wrong, right? I mean, it's just a book. So I can't gain resources, which is frustrating. It's also kind of frustrating. I wish I had like a card that allowed me to get a little bit more. It's a Shard of 3. I do have an Overpower, right? So that would bring me up to a 4. I have to test a 5. I have a +2 with a lucky. So that's if I would fail a skill test. And then I could spend a couple here. So I have a base value of 2. I need a 5. This takes me to 4 to 5. This would take me basically to 6 to 5. And I could spend here to go +2. And so if I do 2, my hand isn't actually that expensive. So I need 3 resources to pay everything. So let's break in. That seems like it's going to be like fun. Okay, so I'm going to spend 1. Start out to put Fire Axe into play. I'm going to spend 1 to put a Lone Wolf into play. And then we are going to try and break in. So I guess, yeah, so I guess if I break in, I can't move. Is that how that would work? So museum entrance gain, you test break? Or do I have to move and then test? Pete's already gets a bad rap for being a drifter. Don't perpetuate the stereotype. That's true. Yep. So, yeah. So I guess like, what is the order of events? I think actually I probably need to like come here, and then as a second action, try and break in. Or as my third action, try and break in. So my first would be playing a Lone Wolf. Second would be moving here. Is that how that works? And then I can do this action. Test before you play assets, other stuff. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, thanks for the advice. Okay, so if I'm doing this incorrectly, someone just tell me. So I'm gonna, I guess, test from here. And so I'm testing with a base of 2. I'm gonna overpower for 2. Then I'm going to, so that takes me to 4. I'm gonna spend 2 to take me to 6. So 6 to 5 is what I'm looking at. And we have got no whammies, -1. So actually we passed without even needing to play lucky. And so that breaks open the lock. So that's 1. And then before I move, I'm going to spend 1 to put a Lone Wolf. Go team. And then my third action will come down here to the Museum Halls. So Museum Halls is connected to each copy of Exhibit Hall. Investigators in the Museum Halls spend one clue, in my case, playing a solo game, to put the top card of the exhibit deck into play unrevealed. Hey, Buster. Arkham, yes. Excited to be here. Gotta say, the music is super chill for an Arkham Horror playthrough. Awesome, cool, thanks. It's stream beats, and so it is called Chill Step, and so I figured that fit the mood. So I'm glad you think so as well. Okay, great. So broke in, moved, played a Lone Wolf. That's my turn. Let's move on. So round sequence, we've got the enemy phase next. So no enemies are on the board. So we'll just go straight into the upkeep phase where I'll get a resource. I will get to draw a card. Hey, there's another fire axe. I could dual wield fire axes. Someone just lost their museum membership. Let's be honest, Ashcan Pete didn't have one anyways. So, okay. So we are in the museum halls. We discard down from 8, and then we're back up to the top. Yes, I did just kick my way in. I overpowered my way in. I actually get to draw a card because I drew that, and so I got an unexpected courage. So, yep, just kicked my way in. You should advance your act deck. You got inside. Thank you very much for that reminder. So we'll go ahead and move. So. Advance to 1B. Alrighty. So if the investigators successfully perform the ability to get into the museum halls to advance, with great strength, you break down the door to the museum, making considerable noise as you do. The security guard sees you enter, cries out in fear, and rushes towards the back of the museum. Probably not great. The door leading to the museum halls is broken. Reveal the museum halls. Advance to Act 2A, breaking and entering. Okay, so we've got a scared security guard. Night at the museum. Okay. The bad book that no one should ever read is being kept in a restricted hall somewhere in the museum. Adam barely knows his way around and gives a startled jump at every creak of the old building. I just started here last week, he explains. What sort of trouble did you say was going on? You haven't had the heart to give him the full story. So the objective, if the investigator enters the exhibit hall, restricted hall, we advance. So we have to go find it. You have to go find the restricted hall, which is in one of these bottom 3. So we need to go get some clues to search our deck for that. Okay, so now we're back. We're going to place 1 Doom on the agenda. There's 1 right there. Then we are going to reveal the top card. So Passage into the Veil. Test a intellect of 3. This test has +2 difficulty if hunting horror is at your location, which it is not. If you fail, you must either discard the top 5 cards of your deck or take 1 direct damage and deal 1 damage to each of your ally assets. I'm not a big fan of that. You're not doing Night at the Museum. You're doing breaking and entering because you broke and entered. Yeah, that's fair. Thank you. So, thanks for that catch. The bad book is being kept in the restricted hall somewhere in the museum. If an investigator enters the exhibit hall, restricted hall advance. So it's the same objective, but I'm sure that something on the back is different. So thanks for that. So I am testing a 4 to a 3. And we would take 1 direct damage and deal 1 damage to each of your ally assets if I fail. Don't love that. So we're gonna unexpected courage to try and make sure that we pass. So I'm going 6 to a 3. We will pull out a -1. So we would have been fine even if we didn't play unexpected courage. So, but we don't have to kill Duke, which is nice. That's always a big fan. Always a big fan of not killing Duke. Alrighty, so we got 3 actions now. So 1 per investigator. So when my turn begins, if there are no other investigators at your location, I gain a resource. So we'll go up to 4 here. And now we have some stuff to do. So I'm going to spend 1 to put Fire Axe into play, just in case, right? I mean, I don't want to... Duke is the investigator anyways. 100%, yeah. Absolutely. So Fire Axe in play. We're going to go ahead and drop a leather coat as well. So that's 2 of my actions. And then we're going to exhaust Duke to investigate. Let's go. I feel like it would be more fun to go to the security office. So let's do that. So Duke's special ability is exhaust Duke and investigate. You investigate with a base set of 4. And you can move to a connecting location immediately before investigating with this effect. So we're going to hop over to the security office. So this is a Shroud of 2, 1 clue per investigator. Search the top 6 cards of your deck for a card and add it to your hand. Shuffle the rest back into your deck. Limit once per turn. That takes 2 actions. That's pretty cool. Honestly, I should swap the Duke and Ashcan Pete card. That makes the most sense, right? If I just do that. Yeah. Ashcan Pete really is only here because he tells me what I'm allowed to do to build my deck, and then Duke is hanging out. Alrighty, so this comes in with 1. Man, I hope the administrative office has a couple more clues on it, because this only has 1. If this needs to have some, because I need a minimum of 4 to go to the next spot and or to find the restricted area. So we're going 4 to 2. I don't really have anything that I'm super. I have a lucky if I need it, but we'll see. We've got 4 to 2. Let's see what we've got. We've got a automatic pass and ready Duke. I accidentally already readied him, so he is ready Duke. And we get this clue. Okay. Not a bad start. Oh yeah, so I did get Valkyrie. So Valkyrie, my local game store had got Valkyrie in today, and so I'm gonna unbox her later, and then I think I'm gonna be able to do a stream on Sunday playing through all 4 of her aspects to try and see. She hasn't been super hyped up from the people that have already gotten her, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm thinking Sunday, probably later in the day, maybe around like 4, we'll be able to run Valkyrie. So I meant to do that at the beginning of the stream, and here we are. Alrighty, so monster phase, so enemy phase, so we don't have any enemies on the board, and then we'll go into upkeep phase. So we will get $1, 1 resource. We will draw a card. Hey, the Silver Twilight Acolyte. So forced after Silver Twilight Acolyte attacks, place 1 doom on the current agenda. Not a huge fan of that. He's got 3 health. That's annoying. But we'll be able to kill him pretty easily, I think. So, okay. So at the top of the round, we'll place 1 doom on the current agenda. We will draw and resolve. So Terror from Beyond, so Peril. Revelation, choose one of the following card types: asset, event, or skill. Each player must discard each card in his hand that is of the chosen card type. If this is not the first copy of Terror from Beyond drawn this phase, choose 2 card types instead. So this is the one that it doesn't really matter for solo play, because you can kind of guess. I'm going to choose skill, and I don't have any skills in my hand, and so we don't have to do anything. So okay, so investigator phase. So we are going to try and take care of this Silver Acolyte, I think. So we've got 3 health, fight value of 2. So let's go ahead and hit him with Duke. So exhaust Duke, fight. You attack with a base skill of 4, and it deals +1 damage. And so we've got a 4 to a 2. Let's see how we go. 4 to a 2. We've got a -2, so we still succeed and deal +1 damage. So that is 2 damage onto the Silver Twilight Acolyte. And then we'll swing with the Fire Axe. So during an attack with Fire Axe, you can spend 1 resource. If I do, you get +2. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we're going to go 4 against 2 again. And if I didn't have any resources, it does +1 damage. I still do have resources, but I don't need that +1 damage. And so let's see what we've got. We've got, what's the skull? The skull is -1, -3 if hunting horror is at your location. So it's a -1. So we pass and kill the Silver Acolyte. Did you get the Lone Wolf resource? No, I did not. Thank you very much. Thank you. Silver Twilight Acolyte dies. So that was 2. That's kind of an annoying turn. But let's for my third action, we'll hop back over to the museum halls. Okay. And then next turn I can, as an action, spend. Oh, I guess like I didn't think about that. There's going to be clues in some of these other rooms, so there doesn't actually have to be a lot over here in the administrative offices because we're going to be putting some into play. So, okay, so that was 3 enemies attack, do their thing. Then we're doing our cleanup. So we've got 1 resource. We've got a card draw. There's a dark horse. That's what we want right there. So good. And advance to the next round. So starting out, we're going to place 1 doom here on the agenda. So we're up to 3 out of 5. So whatever is happening is going to probably happen pretty soon. And then we have an encounter card. Beyond the Veil, Hex, Surge. Oh, gross. Put Beyond the Veil into play in your threat area. If there is no copy of Beyond the Veil in your threat area. And then Forced, if your deck has no cards in it, take 10 damage and discard Beyond the Veil. Okay, well, so if I run out of if I run out of cards, then I lose. So that's kind of fun. Okay, so the Surge card is slithering behind you. Oh, that doesn't sound good. If Hunting Horror is in play, add 1 doom to it. If Hunting Horror is not in play, search the encounter deck discard pile in the void for Hunting Horror and spawn it at your location engaged with you. Shuffle the encounter deck. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. So Hunting Horror. Where did I put that? I guess it is in the deck, maybe. Hunting Horror, there it is. Hey, there's the snake. I thought you said that it was it wasn't true. Okay, so the hunter it's a hunter. It has retaliate and 2 fight value, 3 health. Doesn't seem that bad, but I haven't read what it does yet. At the start of the enemy phase, reveal a random token from the chaos bag. If the reveal token has one of the bad symbols on it, ready Hunting Horror. Force, when Hunting Horror leaves play, place it in the void. Okay, so it's just annoying. It'll just keep coming back. Snake! Oh, jeez. Okay, so Hunting Horror is with us now, and not the biggest fan of that, but that is really annoying. It's just like a tax. Gross. I wanted to play Dark Horse, but Alrighty, so start of my turn, I will get a resource from Lone Wolf. So we're up to 6 resources, which is kind of fun. We'll spin the first action to fight with Duke. So we're going a 4 against a 2. And we've got, let's see what we've got. Shuffle them up real good. A 0. So we deal 2 damage because Duke is a good boy. So 2 right there. And then retaliate is if I didn't succeed, it would hit me back. I think the agenda talks about the horror as well. When Hunting Horror enters play, ooh, yeah, okay. Thank you. When Hunting Horror enters play, attach the set-aside copy of Shadow Spawn to it or add 1 resource to Shadow Spawn if it is already in play. Thank you. Shadow Spawn remains attached to the Hunting Horror if it enters the void. Hunting Horror gets +1 fight, +1 health, and +1 evade for each resource on Shadow Spawn. If there are at least 3 resources on Shadow Spawn, Hunting Horror also gains massive. Okay, thanks. That makes that kind of fun and interesting. Cool. Okay, well. Okay. Craziness. Okay, so that was 1 action. We're going to attack with the fire axe. We're going to spend 1 yeah, 1 2. Okay, so we're gonna go 6 to 2. Skull. So -3 of Hunting Horror is at my location, so it does pass. So it's a 3 to 3. Just be aware that the skull is -3 because the horror is in play. There's another person living in the future right here. So That skull is a -3, so I did bump it up. So it was a 6 to a 3, or it's a 6 to a 2 still, because this doesn't have any resources on it. So it's 6 to a 2, but so I do still succeed, placing 1 damage. And he gets +1 health for each resource on Shadow Spawn. So at this point, he doesn't have any health, so he's going to go back to the Void. Put the Void over here. That sounds fun. Cool. So that was 2 that was 2. I'm going to spend 3 to put Dark Horse into play. I think that just in case, I'd rather make sure that we get Dark Horse into play than we'll start stacking stuff. I want to make sure that we get Dark Horse into play just in case something comes back up. I want to be able to utilize that if able. Enemy phase, no enemies. We will gain a resource and draw a card. Hey, more money. Don't really need that right now. Actually, actively want to avoid playing that because of Dark Horse, unless we need like a big hitter. So, okay, so we'll place 1 Doom on the agenda, taking us up to 4 out of 5. Yeek. More money, more problems. Exactly. Exactly. So, then we'll do an encounter card. Put Curse Luck into play in your threat area. You get -1 skill value during skill test. After you succeed at a skill test by 1 or more, discard Curse Luck. Cool. We're just gonna stack ourselves. Okay. During the investigator phase, we'll start out by getting a resource. We are going to, I think we're gonna spend this as our first action to try and find or put the next exhibit hall into play. So at this point, we're gonna start making this a little wonky because this is gonna get pretty full. So here's our exhibit hall right there. So that's 1 action. Duke, I keep forgetting to unexhaust Duke. We're going to, yeah, we're gonna investigate with Duke by moving to the exhibit hall and investigating. Okay, so it's a Shroud of 3. Oh, after you fail a skill test while investigating this location, lose 1 action. So Shroud of 3, 2 clues on it. And okay. So Duke, good boy, is going for 4 to 3. I do have a lucky in my hand, and I guess we're actually at 3 to 3 because of my cursed luck. So 3 to 3. So -2. So that is oh, and these have victory points on it, so that's nice. So what I'm trying to figure out if I want to do is I'm trying to figure out if I want to play a lucky to succeed and grab that, because I think I do, because if I don't, then I lose an action. So we're gonna play a lucky. I don't get to get rid of cursed luck because I only met the value. So, but I do get this clue. Okay, so at this point, the victory point is nice, but I'm wondering if I just want to hop over to museum halls. So I feel like I'm going to struggle to search here in the exhibit hall because it's a Shroud of 3, and I really am not set up to do a lot of investigating right now. Okay, so I also have no idea, like a lot of people, maybe some new people may not know, but I am playing through this blind, so I actually have no idea what the right move here is. So So we'll see. I'm gonna move back over for my last action, and we'll start exploring some more exhibit halls. Okay, so enemy phase. There's no enemies on the map, so we'll go straight into income phase and draw a card. Perception. Good. Probably could have stayed, but we're here now. We're ready, everybody. And now we will move on to the next round, which will move us on. So place one doom, we'll check, and the doom does advance, or the agenda does advance. So we've got, from the shadows of the museum halls, a terrible creature slithers forth, long and serpentine and propelled by black leathery wings. If Hunting Horror is in play, add one doom to it. If Hunting Horror is not in play, search the encounter deck, discard pile in the void for Hunting Horror, and spawn it in Museum Halls of Fable. Bummer. That's where I'm at. Shuffle the encounter deck and discard pile. Shuffle the encounter deck, discard pile into the encounter deck. Okay. So this comes in and it is engaged with me. And I think this probably will have the same thing. So the shadows in the museum grow and become darker. As the shadows lengthen and shift, they begin to suggest a sinewy body of uncanny creatures darting in the periphery of your awareness. So force, when Hunting Horror enters play, attach the set-aside copy of Shadow Spawn to it, or add one resource to Shadow Spawn if it is already attached. So I'm guessing, yeah, so it's already attached, and so we get to add one resource to it. Or I guess, like, check my timing on this. So this at 1B is when it comes into play, and is the force effect on 2A already active? Like, so I guess, like, do I put this here or not is my timing question. I think the way it reads, it's no. But because it would have already been in play by the time the agenda 2A is revealed. So I think no. Yell at me if that's not the case, and we'll fix it. We'll fix it in post. When I played the scenario, the timing instructions thing is weird as hell. Yeah. Okay. I think the way that it reads, the forced is not active. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, cool. So we will beat the heck out of this Hunting Horror again. Why doesn't this have victory points on it? I feel like every time I beat this, I should get a victory point. That'd be too good. But okay, so starting out, we'll get one resource right here. We'll attack it with Duke. So it's a 4 to a 2. And I'm going to spend one resource here because I don't have my lucky anymore to bump using Scrapper. So that bumps me to a 5 to a 2, just in case we draw that skull, because I really don't want to discard an asset that I control. That sounds pretty bad. So it's a skull. So this is -3 if Hunting Horror is at your location. So because I paid that one for Scrapper, we actually do succeed, and we'll go 2 damage onto it. There's some FAQ on the wiki. Forced ability on Agenda 1A does not trigger when Hunting Horror enters play by Agenda 1B on Arkham DB. Awesome. Cool. Thanks for looking that up. I appreciate it. Or thanks for knowing that off the top of your head. I'm not sure if you looked it up or if you just kind of knew that, but I appreciate that. That makes me happy. Okay. That is a stupid snake. I just don't like how many of my actions it's taking. That's the frustrating part. Okay, so let's go ahead and fight this thing again using my fire axe. I'm gonna spend one resource to get +2 for the skill test. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spend another resource just to try and make sure that I have that. I have a pretty low cost hand. I do have emergency cash just in case I do need to get something out. Oh, I do. Oh shoot, I have Cursed Luck in play. Okay. Thank you. I'm moving too fast. Okay, so I attacked for 6. I attacked for 5, and I drew a -3, so 2 -1. So therefore, this wins, and it retaliates against me. So it deals 1 damage and 1 mental. So I'm going to put 1 on Duke and 1 on Leather Coat. Thank you. Okay. Well, that's annoying. Shoot. Thanks for catching that. I think I'm up to 3. I think I spent 2 on the fire axe. So oh, bummer. Okay, so I'm gonna need to attack him again. That thing's annoying. You should turn on Dark Horse by discarding all your resources unless you think you really need it. Yeah, okay, sounds good. Let's turn on Dark Horse. So I guess what I was trying to figure out. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to spend 3 to attack for 8, and I deal +1 damage. Lone Wolf is 9. Cursed Luck is back down to, or I'm sorry, yeah. Dark Horse is 9. Cursed Luck takes it back down to 8. So we're going 8 to. Cursed Luck gets rid of it when I succeed by 1 or more. So I'm hoping that my 8 to 2 here gets rid of my Cursed Luck. So let's see what we got. We've got a 0. So that does get rid of Cursed Luck. And it deals 2 damage because I have 0 tokens. So Fire Axe deals an extra damage. Now at this point, I'm going to discard Fire Axe to ready Duke using my ability here. And then we're going to attack with Duke for 4/5. Okay. So 5 to 2. Hopefully this takes care of it. 5 Skull is -3, but since we don't have Cursed Luck into play anymore, we actually do succeed. So there we go. That's Hunting Horror gets to go back over into the void, and I use all of my actions just to not get hit by that thing. Cool. Okay, enemy phase. No enemies because we got rid of it. And we'll go ahead and get a resource. We'll draw a card. There's a flashlight, which probably is going to be used as a committed to a skill test. And okay. Start of the Mythos phase, we're going to place 1 Doom on the current agenda, which is a threshold of 7. I don't quite remember if I said that. And we'll resolve this encounter card. Okay, cool. I'm glad we got Cursed Luck out of play last time. So it's back. Bummer. Okay. It's crazy. So at the start of my turn, I get 1 resource. You should consider if you really want to get that resource in Upkeep Phase. Remember, it turns off in Dark Horse. Yeah, that's true. So I think, like, what I was planning on doing, and this may not be the right thing, is because I get it in Lone Wolf. Like, and maybe that's anti-synergy that I don't really want, but I don't think that I can turn off Lone Wolf. And so I got a resource from Lone Wolf no matter what. Lone Wolf isn't automatic either. Okay, that's good. But now that I have 2, I'm going to spend 2 to put my flashlight into play. So that just will help me investigate a little bit better coming up. We're just going to put this over here. But that is good to remember and think about, is that I don't need to take that resource. So I appreciate it. Okay, so that's 1. I'm going to spend 2, my second action, to get the next copy of Exhibit Hall. And my third action, I'm going to exhaust Duke to come over here and investigate. Oh, it's a Shroud of 4. So after I enter this location, discard 2 cards at random from my hand. So no perception and no emergency cash. And it only has 1 clue. That's a tough nature exhibit. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So okay, well, let's see what happens. So we're going 4 to 4. So Duke is 4, Dark Horse is 1, Cursed Luck is -1. So 4 to 4. The exhibit, it seems so like nice and fun during the day. 4 to 4. Hey, automatic success. Like that. So +2, we get to ready Duke and get rid of Cursed Luck. That was an excellent pull. The Chaos Bag takes and it gives away. Or no, it gives and it takes away. Clutch. Excellent. Okay, and I get the clue. And 1 victory point. Boom. Okay, so I get to draw a card first. And so that's Rite of Seeking. I'm going to choose to not take a resource. Yeah, I'm going to choose to not take a resource. So okay, so we've got Doom on the agenda. So this goes up to 2. We're going to take this Revelation attached to the location with the most clues and without a locked door attached. The attached location cannot be investigated. You can test a strength of 4 to break down the door or a evade of 4 to pick the locks. If you succeed, discard the locked door. I didn't think that I had any plans on going back over to the Egyptian exhibit, and I definitely don't now. So that's good. Investigator Phase. So we will not take the resource from Fire Axe. We're going to hop up 1 to the museum halls. We're going to spend a clue for my second action to put in this guy, the exhibit hall. And then we will investigate with Mr. Duke coming down here. So forced, after you fail a skill test, while investigating this location, take 1 horror. It has 2 clues on it, and it's a Shroud of 3. Technically, you needed to put it in the entrance, but it doesn't matter. I've pulled more Elder Signs in this campaign than in my entire Arkham career, and they've come at clutch times. So technically, I needed to put it at the entrance, but it doesn't matter. Remember, locked doors on most. Oh, got it. Okay. That was already like out of my mind. I didn't even consider that as a location anymore. So thanks. I appreciate it. Okay. So exhibit hall comes in with 2. And it's a Shroud of 3. I'm testing for 4 plus 5 for Dark Horse. We'll discard Rite of Seeking for 6 to 3. No, 5 to 3. Sorry, that's That's how math works. -1, so we succeed. So we get to take this. This is also like the most clues that I've gotten in any game ever. For some reason, like in Arkham, just the characters that I've played so far in my Arkham kind of career have not been clue heavy go-getters. So it's kind of fun to have consistency in gathering the clues. So that was 1, spin 2, move over here, investigate for 3. So we are done. So we will, no monsters on the board. We get to draw a card, which is Rabbit's Foot. I will take a resource. I guess it doesn't matter which one I take, but I might as well just take this one. Because I do want to play the Rabbit's Foot. That's going to help me ready Duke more. And then I will ready Duke, and we'll go to the top of the round. Okay, so we'll place 1 Doom on this current agenda. So we're at 3 out of 7. And we'll do this card. Visions of Future Past. So test a I always get these mixed up. Not intellect, willpower of 5. For each point you fail by, discard the top card of your deck. Ew, that's not great. So I'm going 5 to 5. No, I'm not, because Dark Horse doesn't activate. That's why I should take the Lone Wolf resource, not the resource at the end of the round, because of things like that. So lessons learned. Okay, so 4 to 5 and a skull. So -1, because the Hunting Horror is not in play. And so that's a 3 to 5. So we discard 2 cards. So we got rid of a Perception and a Scavenging. Visions of Future Past. That is a really cool card title. And like the art on these cards is incredible. I'm going to see if I can, yeah, it can focus. The art in this card, this game is just excellent. I absolutely love it. Okay, so start of my turn. We're going to spend 1 resource to put a Rabbit's Foot into play. Even with the bigger map, I'm no relation to Marvel Days of Future Past. Yep, exactly. Even with all my stuff in play, I'm running out of room. We'll put Flashlight on top of Fire Axe and put Rabbit's Foot right there. So here are my hand slots: Amulet, Body. Cool. Okay, so that was 1. I'm thinking I may want to grab this guy right here. So if I investigate 4, 5 to 3, then we're doing pretty good. Let's try it. 8 assets in play. I don't think I ever got that many out at the same time. Yeah, we got 1. We got Duke and Scrapper, which is a permanent. Lone Wolf, Dark Horse. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Alrighty. Okay, so we're gonna go a 5 to a 3. We've got an automatic. Hey, there's another Elder Sign, so add it to the tally. So that was exhausting Duke, by the way. So 5 to 3. We get to ready Duke +2. We get this clue. We get another victory point. Everyone's happy. So that was my second action. And then for my third action, I will just hop back up here to the museum halls. Awesome. I So I don't quite remember where it was. So looks like you're playing a protection deck in Marvel. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, I love protection. I love the upgrade protection decks in Marvel, and so like this is giving me that similar vibe, and I'm really enjoying it. It's like, let's see what we can build up to. So I guess this is a good enough time as NA to plug the Discord. So if you're not in our Discord, go check out the Discord. It's a link in the description below if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Twitch, it's going to be in my bio. But I think it was on Discord. It may have been on YouTube in one of the comments. Someone was saying that I probably need to look to upgrade these flashlights out of my deck. And I think I agree with them at this point, because I don't have really a huge need for them. They help me to investigate whenever I don't have Duke, but I'm wondering if that's really necessary. So I guess, like, chat, what are your thoughts? Like, does Flashlight have a spot in this deck at this point, or is it the next thing that I should try and work my way out of? Okay, so moving on, enemy phase, upkeep phase, I'll draw a card. We've got an overpower. We're going to hang on to that. We're not going to take a resource because we learned our lesson last time. And we'll move to the top. So we'll go here, 2 onto the main, and we'll draw this card. Arcane Barrier, attached to our location. As an additional cost to move into or out of the location, test my willpower 4. If you successful, discard Arcane Barrier. Otherwise, you must either cancel the effects of the move or discard the top 5 cards of your deck. Having that on Museum Halls is really not great. So the Diamond says, maybe because you're playing solo, there aren't as many clues, so Duke gets to do most of the work. Yeah, and I need to play this game with more people, because I feel like there's just so much more that happens, and just so much more excitement that can take place. But okay, so we've got the stupid Arcane Barrier. So I'm going to spend a clue to put this card into play. We're just going to start rotating these. These are all going to be kind of all over the place. Put this guy into play. And we'll spend another clue. Oh, some of these are connected. That's kind of fun. So I guess that's good to know. And that's a lot of little things out. So I'm just going to continue on and try and, yeah, we'll see. Okay, so go here. By the way, if you don't want to keep saying willpower, you can just say brain, like test 3 brain for intellect. It's a book. Combat equals fist and agility equals foot. Thank you. Brain. It reminds me of Little Dicky's album. Alrighty, so that was 2. And I guess this is as good a time as any to try and get out of this museum hall. Like I don't know what else I would do. And so let's exhaust Duke to try and move out of here. Whenever I do that, I have to test brain. I like brain. That's fun. Test brain 4. I'm testing at a 5. Let's see what happens. -4. Okay, well, now we have to make some decisions. So I failed, so I get to draw a card. And I'm going to cancel the effect of the move. So I'm going to hang out in Museum Halls. Okay. Okay, so monsters, no monsters. Get to draw a card. Rite of Seeking. And I'm not going to gain a resource. Yeah, I'm not going to gain a resource. And then we will go ahead and move on. So top of the morning, we'll put 1 Doom counter there. And I guess like I want to go here instead, right? Because that could be the restricted area. Actually, both of these could be the restricted area. It's one of these 3. And so I guess it doesn't really matter which one I go to. Okay. We'll reveal in stupid curse luck. There are too many curse lucks in this game. Oh, and that's gonna be tough to get out of this Arcane Barrier now. Oh crap. A 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 cards in my deck. I'm trying to make sure that I don't get beyond the veiled and just die. Take another physical trauma. Okay, so I'm feeling this one. This one may be a little bit better. So we'll exhaust Duke to investigate over here. And so we have to test our brain of 4, and we're testing to 4. So we have a base of 4, +1 for Dark Horse, -1 for Curse Luck. So 4 to 4. Hopefully we got it. Let's see what we got. -1. Ah, no. Stupid Curse Luck. So I guess I will discard the top 5 cards of my deck, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, there's Dr. Henry Armitage, Rabbit's Foot, Flashlight, Peter, and Lucky. Ah, bummer. I wanted Lucky. I did fail that skill test, so I will exhaust Rabbit's Foot to draw a card. Oh, good. Racked by Nightmares. Exhaust all assets you control and put Racked by Nightmares into play in your threat area. Assets you control cannot ready. Great. Okay, so I think none of these have an effect if I exhaust them, besides the ones that are already exhausted. So I'm just going to keep them. I'm not going to turn all of these because it's going to be annoying. But I think I still get this effect because I exhausted to move. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I'm exhausted. I'm hopped over here to the exhibit hall. It is the restricted hall. So things are going to start happening. I think I don't actually know the timing on this. Do I still investigate with Duke, or do I resolve my breaking and entering card first? First, advance the deck. Okay. So when you enter the restricted hall, you find the curator of the museum clutching an ornate statue as if it were his club, his suit stained with blood, a panicked expression on his face. The security guard you saw earlier lies in a pool of blood nearby. Oh, that's not great. His intestines strewn about in a grotesque display. Your stomach turns and you resist the urge to vomit. I tried to stop it, but the curator said quietly, his voice quivering, whatever this is, it's still nearby. Choose an investigator to take control of the set-aside Harold Walstead asset. Okay, I will choose myself. I don't have enough spots, man. We'll go here. So this says that, oh, not that one, sorry. So this is, you get +2 book when investigating Miskatonic locations. So that's nice. When Harold leaves play, remove him from the game and add 1 bad symbol to the chaos bag for the remainder of the campaign. Okay, so we don't really want him to leave because I've already put too many of those in there. Actually, wait. Never mind. You're better off doing this. Okay. Yep. Cool. Okay. Search the encounter deck discard pile in the void for all plays for hunting horror. Place it in the exhibit hall, restricted hall, ready, advanced act, text 3A. Okay. So, man, I really thought that this mat was going to fix all of my problems, but it did not. Okay. So we're going to go. The hunting horror is attached to me. It's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. The bad book that no one should ever read is being kept at a restricted hall somewhere in the museum. An investigator enters the exhibit hall or restricted hall of. Oh wait, that was 2A. Sorry, I was like, I feel like I just read that. So somewhere in this area, Olaus Wormith is Latin's translation of the book that shall not be read. You must find it and escape while you can. Objective: if there are no clues remaining on exhibit hall, advance. Okay, so we gotta search over there. So now we have a conundrum on our hands. So the conundrum is this hunting horror. Are we thinking that the conundrum is the hunting horror, getting rid of racked by nightmares and just taking the damage? Because I think that I want to kind of probably take the damage so I can get rid of racked by nightmares so that I can ready my assets, ready Duke. Technically, because the horror is with you, you can't investigate the restricted area, but you were already making the investigation move before the horror showed up. We need actual lawyers to sort this out. Okay, yeah, that's. I would think that. Well, I can. Well, actually, so I think I still can investigate. I just take an attack of opportunity, right? Like you can do actions while something's engaged with you. You just cannot. You just get attacked when you do it. So I think that's probably how it gets resolved. Is that I still investigate, which is frustrating, and I take an attack of opportunity. Do we agree on that, or am I thinking about that incorrectly? And I got a lot of stuff going on. Go either way. We need no clear answer. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Is we'll continue to investigate and take an attack of opportunity. That's too bad. But okay, so we are investigating. Let me count this up. So we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 to 3. So 6 to 3, revealing, and I'm going to toss a look what I found to go 8 to 3, just because I really don't want to. I want to get rid of Cursed Luck. So 8 to 3 minus 1, so 7 to 3. So we're good. So we get one of these clues. We then take an attack of opportunity. So this leather coat will take a damage, and we will. Might as well take it off Duke here. Okay. Okay, so that was one action. I am going to spend. No, wait. Oh, never mind. I'm going to spend 2 actions to get rid of Racked by Nightmares. And that will. I'll take 2 damage. Or a mental and a physical damage for an attack of opportunity. There. Cursed Luck is gone. Okay, so start of the enemy phase, this stupid horror thing attacks me. So 1 and 1. Exhibit Hall has a victory point on it. That's kind of nice. And I do have one victory point slash experience left over that I haven't spent. And so we've got a little bit to spend if, or I guess when this is over, if we make it out or not is kind of irrelevant. So draw a card, Unexpected Courage, like seeing that. We are going to take a resource because I want to make sure that we beat up on this thing, and I can spend the resources to increase my attack. So we're going to take a resource here for Fire Axe, and then we do get to ready everyone. Cool. We have 2, 4, 6, 7 cards left, so just trying to be cognizant of that. Okay, so at the top of the round, we're going to place 2, so we're at 6 out of 7. Eek. When Hunting Horror enters play, we need to put a resource on this thing. So, sorry. So, yep. So that he's just a little bit stronger, which is fine. Alrighty, so we are going to reveal this encounter card. If Hunting Horror is in play, add 1 Doom to it. If it's not, then we put it in play. Okay, so, but we don't advance because we've already made the check to advance. So I made that mistake earlier, not going to do that again. Okay, so now 3 actions. We're going to start the Investigator phase by getting 1 resource. We are going to attack the Hunting Horror by spending 2 resources with the Fire Axe. So we're going to go 2, 4, 6, 7 with Dark Horse, dealing +1 damage, and we're attacking it at an attack value of 3. So 7 to 3. I think I'm good with that. So let's see what happens. So 7 to 3. We drew a -2, and so 5 to 3. So we deal 2 damage to it. That was 1 action. My second action, I'm going to exhaust Duke. We're going to attack the Hunting Horror with 4 + 1 from Dark Horse, which is 5 to 3. I'm going to toss a Overpower. So that's 7 to 3. And at that point, there's only 1 token that makes us fail, and that's the auto fail. And so might as well go for it. So 7 to 3, dealing 1 extra damage. This could turn the tide. We got the -1, so we are good. That deals 2 damage to the Hunting Horror. And I assume, like, it thematically, it kind of makes sense that the resource stays on the card when it goes back to the void. So I'm gonna play it like that, but correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. So that was 2. I'm going to I guess I'm going to spend 1 charge off my flashlight to take this shroud down to 1. So I'm going 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1 with Unexpected Courage. So 5 to 1 with Unexpected Courage. We will... Oh, wait. 7 to 1 with Unexpected Courage. I'm going to hold on to Unexpected Courage. So 5 to 1 with just how we're living life. Yeah, he stays. He's getting bigger. Okay, cool. Yep, that's what I thought. So 5 to 1. 1. Hey, there's the one that would auto fail. Great. Okay, well, it wouldn't be a game of Arkham if we didn't auto fail something that we absolutely needed. So, bummer. Okay, that's fine. No, it's not. We'll see what happens. Okay. I think the hunter, the horror is coming back. The horror is going to come back. He's going to come back and eat me. Okay, enemy phase. There are no enemies. Upkeep phase. We'll draw a card. We got a magnifying glass. Okay, and we will not take a resource and go to the top of the round. So we'll place 1 here on the agenda, which advances. Hey, check it out. Hunting Horror is coming back. Who could have guessed that? Okay, so the creature does not relent, pursuing you throughout the museum. If Hunting Horror is in play, add 1 doom to it. It is not. If Hunting Horror is not in play, search and then put it in the deck. Or it's coming back. So, hey, look, everybody. Hunting Horror is back. Agenda 3A. The creature in the museum grows larger and more terrifying with each passing moment. Its body slithers from shadow to shadow. Every corner of every room is a potential hiding place for the hideous beast. Like, I think that this is like one of my worst nightmares. Like, this actually sounds awful. Like, running around a museum with a snake chasing me that's getting bigger. I like do not like that premise whatsoever. Okay, anyways, when Hunting Horror enters play, attach the set aside copy or add 1 resource to it. Okay, so we'll I think we're gonna have pretty much the exact same turn that we had last time. So locked door attached to a location with the most clues and without a locked door attached. So I think I get to make a choice. And Ben Stiller is nowhere to be. Yeah, where is he? Neither is Teddy Roosevelt. Like, I need one of the two here. So I think with locked door, it's attached to a location with the most clues and without a locked door attached. As the lead investigator, I can choose because there's a tie and I can place it on exhibit hall. I think that's correct. And if it's not, then let me know. But that's what I'm going to do because I definitely don't want it over here in the restricted area or in the Egyptian room. Sorry. Yeah, where's Ben Stiller? I should have probably taken that money, but that's fine. All right, so at the start of the round, I will take a money. Then I will attack the Hunting Horror. So it has a 3. I'm attacking at a base of 2. I'm going to spend this resource for +2, so that's 4. Then we've got 5, and we're dealing 1 extra damage. So 5 to 3 is not the best. It's not the... A bit of bad news. You add 1 more resource. I don't think so, because it's the same thing. It entered play and the forced response is not active already. It is getting bigger, but I don't think that there's any forced response on the table when it entered play at that point that would add a resource to it. Yeah, it's the weird timing. It's kind of weird. I think. Oh man, that'd be really tough if every single time it does that. Keep as is. Okay, so this is okay. So I'm attacking with 4, 5 to 3. 4, 5 to 3. So a 2 succeeds, but I also get retaliated if I don't make it. Duke should be ready. So and this is at the point of the game where I'm like, it's a risk decision instead of a logical decision. So I'm going to get one attack of 7 because I'm going to exhaust I'm going to use an unexpected courage either on this or when Duke attacks, and I don't think that it really matters. I guess my only kind of what I'm thinking through right now is it may be a little bit easier, a little bit better for me to instead investigate, take the clue, take the attack of opportunity. No, because if I move, he comes with me. I don't just get to leave him, and I don't think I can really evade him. So he's at a 3. I could evade for 5, 6. I could evade, take the clue, try and run, and hopefully just not pull something bad. What do we got? We got 2, 4, 6. Okay, we're gonna try and evade. We're gonna do that. So I'm not gonna take the resource from Lone Wolf. We are going to try and evade with 3, 4, 5, 6 to his 3. So it is one of these weird things, which is -3. So 6 to 3 if you fail discarding an asset. Or no, -2. Return one of your clues to the current location. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. Crap. That was a bad pull. So, but he's exhausted. Huh. Well, that's bad. Okay. So that was 1. We will investigate here for my second action. Shroud of 1 now. I'm investigating for 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1. We hated that snake so freaking much. Good news, the next scenario is a banger. Nice. I'm looking forward to it. What about move back to center, evade, then use Duke to move back and investigate? I would take an attack of opportunity for that, though. Oh, but leave him there. That would have been smart. That would have been really smart. I didn't think about that. Okay. Yeah. Good call, the Diamond's Edge. That would have been good. Sorry, I just didn't see that in time. So I'm going like 5 to 1. Auto fail again. Oh my goodness. Oh, while the hunting horror is at this location, the location cannot be investigated. Okay, sorry. That changes a couple of things. Okay. So in that case, sorry. Rewind. We will do what the Diamond Edge says because I just misread that card. I just didn't. But then we have the Arcane Barrier that we have to deal with. So I guess like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is drawing a card optional in the upkeep phase? Oh, and I have to make it twice. I have to make the Arcane Barrier twice. So I don't think that I could pass that twice. So, okay. We're just going to rewind a bunch. Start of the Investigator Phase. I'm going to take 1 resource. Sorry for all the rewind, but I just I don't know if I can make it into that Arcane Barrier. I just don't think I could. Draw is mandatory. And so if I fail, then I either have to cancel the move or I have to discard the top 5, which would kill me. So I'm going to, in that case, I guess this is back here. Okay. So yeah, I hate redoing all of that, but I just misread that. So I guess, sorry, but whatever. Okay, so I'm just gonna fight. So I'm gonna spend this. So it's gonna be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3 fight. We are going to draw a skull, which is -3, so we fail. So we get retaliated. So we're going to spend 1 here and 1 here. We'll exhaust this to draw a card. Actually, Dark Horse. The horror exhaust is the horror exhausted from the evasion? No, I went all the way back to start. I started over the turn because I just misread this exhibit hall. So the only reason I was evading was so that I could investigate, but I can't investigate while the horror is at this location, and so there's no reason for me to there's no reason for me to try and evade him to try and get him out of here. So I'm just going to try and kill him, and I think that's the best way I can do. Don't draw a rabbit's foot. That is an automatic either. Okay. I'll take the advice of the Diamond's Edge. Okay. Okay, cool. Rewinds never bother you. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate it. So that was 1 action. We will attack with Duke. So we are attacking for 4, 5 to 3. I'm gonna toss an Unexpected Courage for 7 to 3. And we will 0. Okay, so we passed that test. So that deals 2 damage. We're gonna toss a Dark Horse. No, we're gonna toss a Magnifying Glass because I kind of want the brain resource here to go ahead and ready Mr. Duke and swing at the hunting or the hunting horror again for 5. I don't have any way to modify it this time. 5. Don't draw anything bad. 5 -3, so we fail. Be a kind of a stickler with the rules, but as long as we're having fun and we all are, rewinds are fine. Yeah, and thank you, because I'm still learning all the rules. So okay, so I need to take a retaliate damage, and then I think the move here is to kill Duke, because the horror is going to attack me again. So I can't take it. Duke or Harold needs to die. And I think at this point it's probably best to kill off Duke, because I have Fire Axis fighting. So the 1/1 will go here to Duke. Poor Duke. He's a good boy. No, Duke. No. It's so sad. Okay, at the enemy phase, now he's going to attack me. It's going to be 1 and 1 here. And upkeep phase. So reset all actions, draw a card. I am going to take a resource because that fire axe is going to be used very heavily. At the top of the round, we'll place 1 doom on the current agenda, and we'll resolve this. Reveal 1 random token from the chaos bag. If I reveal a elder symbol or positive number, nothing happens. Any other number, take 1 damage. And if I reveal a bad symbol, then I take 2 horror, and we lose the game. Go to PetSmart this week and get Duke 2 for next week. Duke number 2. Alrighty, so if I reveal a bad sign here, then we lose the game. So we lose. Okay, well, that's kind of a bummer. I take two horror damage. I guess, like, do I have to kill Harold here, or can I just, if I take this as my first one, is the scenario immediately over, and then I don't add the bad token into the bag for the rest of the game? I think that's how I would read it, but that's a bummer. That's too bad. Yeah, sadly it's Duke 3 at this point. Yep, Duke Duke's gone to the farm a couple of times. Okay, so I take a mental trauma, which is actually really tough. That's really bad. I do have Pete in this deck, so like, but I've never actually been able to put him into play. So yeah, oh man, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Okay, well, that was that was the museum. I really like this scenario. I thought it was pretty cool. I think that this coming in and out is really interesting and kind of fun, and so that's pretty cool. It is the second scenario in a row where I've taken a trauma, which is not great. So yeah, I was right there. I was so close. I haven't read what happens, but I just needed to not fail that first test. If I didn't fail that first test, then I think we probably would have been fine. Yeah, because the -3 pull on the investigate would have been fine, and so we would have gotten the clue. We would have advanced. So 1 token drawn differently, and you would have beaten the hero. You would have been the hero. Yeah, the hero that broke into the museum. So I mean, it was a really cool. It was a really cool scenario. I'm getting kind of worried about my buddy Pete over here taking all this trauma. Maybe he's not up to snuff for the Dunwich. He's he's scared and hurt at this point. But I'm having a good time. So let's my binder's all the way over there. So I'm gonna go grab that real quick because I want to take a look at what we're gonna spend our 3 XP on. So 1 second. Cool. So we got 2 oh wait, actually no, before, sorry, I need to read like the scenario end and everything. I just assumed that I was done, but let me read the scenario end. Okay. No resolution was reached. Whatever the creature in the museum was, you had neither the will nor the tools to destroy it. It seems you must give up any hope of recovering the bad book that shall not be named. Even so, there are others that depending on you. Gathering your courage, you prepare for your next task. In your campaign log, record that the investigators failed to recover the bad book that shall not be named. Each investigator earns experience points equal to victory X value of the cards in the victory display. Okay. So, okay, well, there we go. So, the bad book is still out there, and we've got three victory points to use. And so looking for experience to come help me with this one. Is it worth spending 3, or at this point do we save up? Like, the flashlight actually kind of came in in use in this scenario, and so maybe it's worth keeping it in there, but maybe. So Walton said that the next scenario is good, and you agree. Awesome. I'm really excited. I'm really excited because, I thought this one was good, and so, like, is this like kind of considered? Is this considered like a fun scenario for you all, or how does that? What do y'all think? Flashlight feels kind of bad since it doesn't combo with Duke. Okay, yeah. So let's see what we can put in here. And like I am totally. Ooh, I do like Luckies. I like the upgraded Luckies. That keeps Flashlight in the deck, but the Lucky is really good. But fair warning, there's a very slight chance that Essex County Express can end quickly, like 5 minutes quickly. So if you don't want a 5-minute stream for Friday, success prepping for the next scenario too, just in case. Okay, that's one way to make sure that we can play some more Arkham. I'm down with that. Let's do that. The consensus, it's okay on the first run since you get, hey, there's just one enemy reveal, but not the best other than the replay. Next scenario is really good. Okay. Well, everyone is saying the next scenario is really good. So I'm really excited to dive into that. And I'll prepare 2 scenarios for next week just so okay. So what they say, okay. Okay. So try again is kind of interesting. Will to Survive is interesting, but it's so expensive, and like I don't want to be holding on to 4 resources with this deck for an event card. Looking back, I think you should consider finding cards that will help you with card draw. Okay. So like a Lucky, is that what you're kind of talking about? Like the upgraded Lucky, where it says when you fail a skill test, get +2, and then you get to draw a card. Are there any like basic cards that like Emergency Cash is one that would gain 3 resources and draw a card? That helps me there. We could go with like the Elder Sign Amulet to give me a little bit of boost on my sanity. Lucky 2 is good, but there is a hot take you have. Okay, what's the hot take? I'm excited to hear the hot take. You switch out some of your cards for 2 copies of a level 0 card, but I promise you it can work. Okay. What is the so like swap Flashlight out for which card? Dig Deep may be interesting. 2 copies of Guts +2 willpower to help you resist treacheries from the encounter deck and draws you a card if you succeed. Maybe I didn't have Guts in here. That's the non-colored willpower card, right? Yeah, Guts. Okay. So, and just kind of hold on to that whenever I need it. That would have also helped me with escaping this stupid barrier. I'm good with that. That does let me keep one copy of, or one resource still. So I like the guts idea. I'll paraphrase someone who knows more than I do. Besides monsters, the game fights you by testing you with brain tests because otherwise brain is a useless stat. Yeah, I mean that makes sense, right? Like I'm looking at this, like that wasn't it, but discarded a lot of cards from my deck here. Yeah, there are a lot of brain tests out there, so. So I think the call is to go 2 guts or um 1 upgraded lucky and 1 guts, maybe. Walton can back you up on this, but the most treachery cards are willpower tests. There are some agility power tests, but early on those are rare. It does seem like those willpower tests show up. Okay. Oh, Walton, Josh. Okay. I like I see like Jay Walton, and so I just call him Josh. But I was just like I must have missed someone in the chat because I just like didn't think of your username. Okay. Willpower seems to be the treachery stat. Okay. So I guess my question is like for lucky, I guess the detriment to lucky is that I have to be carrying a resource, but it's the same as a willpower test. Or it's the same as guts in the sense that I get +2 and I get to draw a card. The benefit is that I get to see if I fail first. Do I have magnifying glass already in the deck? Yes, I do. For example, 101 on Rolling Banks, get 2 copies of Guts to protect his 5 sanity. Yeah. If you want to spend it all, 1 copy of Lucky and 1 copy of Guts. I think that's what I'm thinking. Because I think Lucky, it gives me a little bit more flexibility as well as kind of the intent that Guts is giving me. And that gets the copies of Flashlight out of my deck. And then I have 1 copy of Flashlight out of my deck. That gives me the upgraded Lucky and the Guts, and I think Lucky is just a little bit more flexible. The only problem is the cost here. And then if I end up with 3 experience at a later time, I can kind of do the same where I upgrade the second Lucky and then I grab the other Guts. So and I guess like I'd know if I have a Lucky in my hand, so I can choose if I want to take the resource for Lucky. So I'm kind of leaning towards that. And I guess like question for experienced deck builders is, do you want to split like that? I think that, last time I forgot who said it, I'm sorry, but last time we were talking, someone was saying that we don't really like to split the cards like that. Only reason why I'd resist taking out Flashlight is because you can absolutely boat raise 2 Shroud locations with it. If you test a Shroud at location 0, you only fail if you draw auto fail. Yeah, that's true. Maybe Rite of Seeking, like because I feel like every single time I draw Rite of Seeking, I just like don't use it. Duke is doing the investigation, so fine to take out. So like the other thing, I think like at some point during this campaign, Rite of Seeking comes out. Thing is that Duke plus Dark Horse is already winning 2 Shrouds almost all the time. Yeah, that's true, because that's 5-2, so you're failing on 2 tokens. So I'm gonna go 1 copy of Lucky, 1 copy of Guts, just because I think that feels like the most fun. And then that does keep me with 1 copy of Flashlight just in case I need it. We'll probably upgrade out of that later in the game, but I like the flexibility that Lucky gives me. and I can figure out when to take that resource or when not to. And I guess like, yeah. Yep. Okay. So I think that's the modifiers on the bad tokens get harder as the campaign goes on. That sucks. That sucks. Okay. Yeah. Do we like Rite of Seeking in this deck? Like we put it in there because I have a fairly high brain. But like I never have 4 resources. You want to be up 2 on tests. Campaign goes on, you should be up 3. Okay. Okay. That makes sense to me. But I guess like if I can get Rite of Seeking out early, that is nice. Oh, and it's 1 additional blue. Yeah, so I may want to try and get Rite of Seeking out there because that's actually a little bit better than I thought. You remove right before Flashlight. Right is killing my cost curve. And like, I would almost always want to put Peter in over right. Like if I'm thinking of like higher cost cards. Right can absolutely work, but on Mystics like Angie's and Jim Culver, yeah. I didn't realize he was called the big man on campus. It's kind of funny. Doesn't really like Rite of Seeking in a Dark Horse deck. Would prefer just some deductions if you need them with Investigate. I think deductions are... Okay. So we're going to go 1 copy of Lucky, 1 copy of Guts, and take out a Rite of Seeking. By the way, what are your 5 other off-class cards in this deck? So we've got a Rite, we've got a Magnifying Glass. Magnifying Glass. Lone Wolf, and I think a second Rite somewhere. I could have swore I had a second Rite in here. Oh yeah, there it is. So here are my 5 off-class cards. Got 2 Rites, 2 Magnifying Glass, and a Lone Wolf. So I guess that's another argument to taking out Flashlight, is that like I have Magnifying Glass and Fire and Fire Axe, which takes up my 2 hand slots. I'm gonna think on it, and we'll talk about it in the Discord. I need to think on it. I'm gonna look through a couple other cards because I want to think on it. I think I'm leaning towards taking out a Rite of Seeking rather than a Flashlight, but we'll let the masses decide in the Discord. We'll talk through it because I do enjoy talking strategy. So the Magnifying Glasses are solid, but they also mean there isn't much reason to try and use Brain for investigating. That's true. That's true. So, and then that kind of opens up if I would rather use like another class card as one of my... if I'm taking out a Rite, I think I can add in like Inquiring Mind or something like that, but I need card draw. But yeah, anyways, we'll talk about it in the Discord. So I appreciate everyone hanging out with me this Friday night. I love this game. The more I play this game, the more exciting it is. Like I've said before that the only time I've ever played this game was a 4-player game through Night of the Zealot, and now I'm branching out and playing some of these other expansions, and they are just solid. They're really solid. So really enjoying it. So I appreciate hanging out. I appreciate all the advice. The rules help. The strategy tips. That's very much appreciated. I think that it really helps me get better at the game. So appreciate that. If you're not already a member of the Discord, go join the Discord. We have a lot of fun. We're doing some stuff, and so we'll announce that here pretty soon. We'll talk about it more probably on Wednesday when Jason's on the stream. So kind of excited to get that out there. Still can't get over the last part of the scenario. It was tense all around. Yeah, it was very like, what I like is that it can be very calculating and very like tense, and every action matters. And it seems like at the beginning of the scenarios, at least I don't feel that way, and I think that that's a problem. I feel like I need to be very particular with every single one of my actions, because towards the end I am very particular with every one of my actions, and I feel like there are a couple of them maybe out here that I could have played a little bit better, where it would have given me a little bit of breathing room here at the end of the scenario. Who knows? But it's just kind of fun. It's really fun to try and figure all that out. So yep. So if you like this, if you want to see more, I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and typically sometime on the weekend. So give me a follow or a subscription depending on the site we're on, and we'll definitely be doing more of this. But on the plus side, you got Dark Horse Engine online, and we were on a major roll. It was a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun. That was just so much fun. Josh, I hope you also like the lame attempts at humor, because that's that's about all I bring to Friday nights. I love the lame attempts at humor. I think that they're hilarious. I really appreciate them. So thanks for hanging out, Josh. So everyone have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you all on Sunday with Valkyrie. I'll post it in the Discord or on socials on when I'm going to do that, because I'm traveling a little bit this weekend. So we'll see. I'm not quite sure what time that will be. Maybe a little bit later. And if you're here for Arkham, I'll be back next Friday at 8 p.m. See you, everybody. It was a fun session. Absolutely, totally agree. Thank you all for hanging out, and I will talk to you all very soon. Peace.